In part 5, we built cruisers, starholds, and specialized our vassals. In part 6, we will engage in battle, prepare for war, build habitats, and modify our species. Okay, we now want wormhole stabilization to see if we can expand our empire's borders some more. I'm mainly looking at the wormholes in my empire that I could explore once I have this technology. Okay, we've got our last tradition for the discovery tree, so we got a new ascension perk to go with it. We will save our ascension perk for now for genetic ascension or cybernetic ascension, whatever comes first. We need to get exotic gas refining as soon as we can. Get this ASAP. Now we have 12k fleet power. We are going to clear all the hostile fleets from these systems. Good, Habitats Tech is available. We want to research this one as soon as we see it. We got another tradition tree we can adopt, but I am gonna wait to unlock the genetic ascension tradition tree first. Meanwhile, we'll take our science ship over here and explore the natural wormhole. We just explored another wormhole. If we left click it, when it's explored, it takes us to its destination on the map. Oh look, our vassal reached Tier 2 Prospectorum, even more resources and minerals. I may explain about the tiers and what they do later. The important thing is Prospectorums give tons of resources. Scalarums give lots of research. Bulwarks are all about defense. Okay, so we are clearing out the hostiles. Looks like we lost 5 corvettes. We didn't lose any cruisers, so that's good. So what are our ships doing except the corvettes? The cruisers and destroyers are using their afterburners to stay out of range of the enemy's attacks while they pummel the enemy with missiles. It's pretty effective until battleships come out. Looks like we lost a lot of ships, but we could have lost a lot more. I think the problem is I haven't been able to research thruster technology yet, so we cleared it. Now we need to rebuild our fleet. Let's go to the fleet manager. So if we click new fleet and select cruiser, we can then click the plus sign until it is grayed out. When it's grayed out, that means that we can't add any more ships to the fleet. Now, if we click reinforce all, it will use all of our alloys and keep using them as we get more. That might be useful later, but for right now, if we click reinforce here, we can use up what alloys we have and then press it again later when we are ready to build the rest of the fleet. While that's building, we need better thrusters, so we will research low-cost tech to try to roll for it. And there we go, ion thruster, let's grab it. Excellent, we got gene tailoring. This is the prerequisite to genetic ascension. Researching this will allow us to pick up the perk which will allow us to adopt the genetics tradition tree. Oh, that's right, we can build habitats now. We got a lot of influence, so we can start putting them down. Remember, you need the Utopia DLC to make habitats. I have a whole video dedicated to orbital habitats, so check that out if you want more info on all the types of habitats you can build. You want to pick up space torpedoes at some point for when the enemy starts using battleships. Looks like we got another vassal. Having such overwhelming fleet power is really helping us. Soon we will start going to war with other empires to take the rest of the galaxy. Finally, gene tailoring is finished. We can pick up the engineered evolution ascension perk, then adopt the genetics tradition tree. We get cloning vats which give us something to dump our food into. We have enough unity built up to take another tradition. You want to complete this entire tree before you do any species modification. We had like 400 monthly energy credits. We terraformed every planet available to us in our borders, so we can turn all this extra energy into alloys. Okay, so now we've got a lot of resources and minerals, so we are going to focus on building industrial districts and making alloys and consumer goods for Unity, ships, and research. We can upgrade our research labs and administrative office buildings, but remember, most upgraded buildings cost monthly strategic resources, so make sure you're making adequate gas, crystal, volatile moat buildings to cover those expenses. Oh, and you need to upgrade your colony building before you can do this. Also, I may have mentioned it already, but each time you build a city district, you get an additional building slot. Our habitat's complete. Click the Go To button whenever you get this window. Click the Habitat and open the planet screen. We are making this an industrial habitat, so add that name to the original planet name to remind you what the habitat is for. Okay, so we're finally ready to research Star Fortress, the next upgrade for our starbases. This will let us build more anchorages and shipyards. Our orbital habitat is finished. We will build a hollow theater, 4 industrial districts, and designate this as an industrial station. We want interstellar fleet traditions as soon as we see it for the Naval Logistics Office that will increase the naval capacity that anchorages give us. We'd like to know more about this alien contact, like their fleet power compared to ours, technological and economic strength, but we have zero intel, so we are going to build a spy network by clicking here and selecting an available envoy. This will increase our intel so we can see this information as well as their ships and systems. The higher the intel, the more we will see. Star Fortress is done, so let's start upgrading our star bases. Now, weather control systems is required if you want to build an Ecumenopolis, otherwise known as an arcology, and have the Megacorp DLC. Megacorp is another good DLC that I recommend. Now that we have interstellar fleet traditions researched, we can start building naval logistics offices to increase our naval capacity and build more ships. Look at that jump from 130 to 180 naval capacity. If we want an Ecumenopolis arcology, then we want to take anti-gravity engineering next. We are going to build a mining habitat next for more minerals. Make sure the planet has a mineral symbol on it to get mining districts when you build it. Next is a research habitat. Build the habitat on any planet with any research to get research districts when built. We have more food after adjusting the agreement with our newest vassal. We couldn't make him a prospectorum, but we were able to get 15% basic resources per month. So with the extra food, we will make some cloning vats. But be careful, they cost a lot of monthly food, but if you can support it, they are worth it. Okay, so when you want to go to war with an empire, you need to prepare in advance most of the time. We are going to start by claiming some of their systems until we run out of influence. Claiming enemy systems before you go to war with them costs a lot less influence than while you're at war. Go to claims and claim their worlds. Click the plus signs and then click make claims. Any claimed worlds you take over become yours if you declare peace or win the war. Our nearest system to them is through the wormhole over here. We should put our forces next to their border, so when we declare war, we are at their doorstep, ready to invade immediately. We finished the genetic tradition tree. Now we can modify our population with more bonuses. We have another ascension perk. This is tough. We could get arcology now, but we won't be able to build one right away. Let's pick Voidborn for better habitats. This will give us 2 building slots on our habitats to play with. We will take arcology later. Now that we've finished the genetic tradition tree, let's modify our species for insane bonuses to our empire. I'll show you how to do it. Here's what I do. Go to the species window. Click Create Template. Now, what we select here is just an example. If you like another trait more, feel free to mess around with it. This is just what I like to do. Remember the traits screen back when we first made our empire? Well, it's the same thing here, except you have a lot more points to work with. First, remove all traits and wipe the slate clean, so to speak. We'll pick the slow learners trait, robust, erudite, natural machinist, and traditional. We're wasting a trait pick, but we have no points left, so it's not a big deal. This template will give us huge bonuses. Name the new species. Click Create Template. Now we need to apply it. Click Apply Template. Check the little box next to the species to select everyone available to be changed. Click Apply Template at the bottom. Note how many months it will take to complete. Also remember that while you're doing this, for this duration, you won't be researching society technologies, so be prepared for that. Click Research and we are done for now. Battleships is another important tech we want to make a point of getting, even if we are not going to put them in our fleet. This technology is still required for megastructures, which is critical to endgame. When we are ready for war, we need to recruit ground troops to invade planets. To do this, go to the planet screen of a highly populated planet, click Armies at the bottom, and click the Recruit button. Then select the army you want on the right and click it. Each click costs 1 energy credit a month and 100 minerals, so recruit what you can afford. Usually, a transport army with a power of 500 to 1,000 is adequate to capture most planets early on. Of course, during late game, armies will need to be much bigger than that and take months to capture. We got a new tradition tree available. We get the most out of adaptability, so we'll be picking that next. It gives us more strategic resources, more habitability, and building slots are all something we can use right now. Our species has finished modifying. Now we should see a considerable bonus to our resources from this. Yeah, all of our resources made a big jump. Build a habitat on a planet with energy credits for reactor districts, which provide way more energy. Enough of the armies we have recruited have been built and have about 500 power altogether so far. I think we can finally go to war now. That's it for part 6. If you like my stuff, you know what to do. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.